Well, we are officially going to get our full-blown acceleration here. Whoa, buddy. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the all-new Wagoneer Carbide edition. So that means this one has the Hurricane engine. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the large mailer Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Wagoneer. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And with that being said, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6, goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being a whopping 420 horsepower and then 468 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see those two raised sections on either side, then of course the Wagoneer script there on the front. Coming down below, really cool daytime running lights as you can see, and then I love how the grille has been blacked out with this Carbide edition. Then notice all down below, also blacked out. We got our fog lights there on either side with parking sensors and tow hooks. And putting it all together, this thing is just downright sexy. I mean, look at that. Come around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 285, 45, 22 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the wheel design, I think it looks really cool, and then everything's all blacked out, which just works. Now notice that the fender flares are painted black, and then you got your black Wagoneer badge with the fixed side steps, and then notice all the trim around the windows is black. Taking a look at the side view, I mean, the 22s and the blacked out trim just works so well. So here's our key fob. You can see we've got our unlock function or lock function, the remote start function, that's to lower down the air suspension, and that is to open up the hatch. And then you got your Wagoneer logo there on the back. But anyways, we'll press that a couple times and this will pop open. Now popping into the rear, you guys can see there's quite a bit of storage space behind the third row. And then over here on the side, you can see this actually will lower down the hatch. And then we got a 12 volt here on the other side. And then if we lift all this up, we got more storage underneath. And then as for the third row itself, you got these little straps here that you can pull to basically throw the third row down if you want even more space in the back. Really cool looking taillights here on the Wagoneer, and then of course Wagoneer script. And then you guys can see it says Quadra Drive 2, and then parking sensors there at the bottom. Then you can see the bezel that covers the receiver hitch as well. But yeah, putting it all together, I think the Wagoneer just looks best with either the Obsidian edition or this Carbide edition. It just works. But before we move on to the next feature of this vehicle, we need to talk about today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Now, nobody wants to get into a car accident, an accident at their workplace, or, you know, slip and fall in front of a business, but sometimes it just happens to be a part of life. And I can speak about this from a place of personal experience because when I was 17 years old, I got in a really bad car accident where my car got totaled out. And because I didn't know anything about insurance companies or getting help by a law firm, I basically got completely screwed in the situation where I got no money for my totaled car and I was left without a vehicle. And this is where Morgan & Morgan can help out. They are America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices, over 800 lawyers, and over 4,000 case staff that are all ready to help you out. Now, I know at this point you might be thinking, Ben, that sounds really expensive, but here is the deal. All of the court hearings, the research, the negotiation, and more are free unless you win. And so if you're involved in some sort of personal accident, whether it be a slip and fall accident, an accident at your workplace, or maybe a car accident similar to what I was involved in, then you might want to get help from Morgan & Morgan. And don't feel bad that you're going down the route of suing. I know a lot of people might feel guilty about this, but what you have to understand is you're not suing the person or the business. You're suing their insurance company that has billions upon billions of dollars. And so it's more about making sure that you get the compensation that you deserve. So again, if you're injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy, or you can give them a call at pound 529, which is pound law. I think that's so cool that they got that number reserved. But again, www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy. Let's get back into the review. Now taking a look at the door panel here, you guys can see we've got our sunshade here in the rear, and then look at the trim that goes across, and then all of our stitching as well, and then the speaker for the Alpine sound system. By the way, window, automatic. Taking a look at the seats, you can see really nice stitching. Notice perforated all down the center portion. Legroom here in the second row is really solid. We've got a little storage pocket there, vent on the side actually. More vents here in the center. We've got our own climate zone here with heated seats in the back and then a bunch of charging ports there at the very bottom. And then headroom back here is also great. Now, I should just be able to press that and have it go forward. Legroom here in the third row is actually really solid. And then I got a vent back here. Plastic, I guess. But we do have some USBs. Headroom back here is also great. And I forgot to mention, we got a sunroof. I can close it if I want, but it's cool that we have a roof. Now the front door panel is pretty much the same as the rear. You guys can see the trim here, and then look at the stitching all over. All of our window controls here, which are all automatic. Mirror adjustments, we got our memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then speaker for the Alpine sound system. And would you look at that, really nice stitching there. Notice perforated all down the center portion of the seat. And then we have our adjustments here on the side. Parking brake is just right there. You've got your light control with your fog light, pedal adjustment, and then the steering wheel is power adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got really nice padding all around. You've got contrasted stitching in the center, our gear limiter here, and then this has regular cruise control as well as adaptive cruise control. Wagoneer, of course, in the center of the steering wheel. And then you guys can see we've got controls for center stack, phone controls, and then of course, turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock. Now we've got this full digital gauge cluster, which we can basically change how it looks because we'll full digital gauge cluster life. But you can also scroll through a bunch of different menus, see different bits of info on the vehicle. My favorite is obviously doing that map view, because it just looks cool, right? Definitely adds to the overall practicality. And then we also have a bunch of different drive modes. So they do take a second to load up, but you got your sport mode, auto, you have a snow mode, we've got a sand mud, and then we have a rock mode as well. And the drive modes will obviously adjust how the four-wheel drive system performs, but also the air suspension. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. We also can go through all of the other viewpoints. And so yeah, great 360 camera system. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, you have got analog controls on either side for the heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel. And then you have a shortcut bar here at the bottom, which really solid with the response time on that. And then you guys can see we can control our dual zone climate with this. I will say it does take a second for some of the pages to load up. You guys probably noticed that with the video. So it's like it instantly takes your finger response, but it always takes a second. And, woo! We got this. So yes, we can hit the kiddos in the back of the head if they're annoying. That's perfect. Down below, we've got analog controls here for the climate system. And then I like how we have a volume knob and a tune knob. Right, it's important to me. I hate touchscreens for everything. Anyways, you can see we've got more storage in this little area. This is what we'll call our charging area because it's got the wireless phone charging pad, USBs. There's a better look at those. And I think it looks nice with the black trim piece. We've got our auto stop start here, lane departure, stability control, hazard lights, parking assist, and then your parking sensors, and then the tow haul mode as well. And then our drive mode select is right here with our four-wheel drive low. And then here's the dial shifter for the 8-speed. This is for the air suspension to adjust it up or down. And then we have off-road cruise control as well. A couple cup holders right here. And then we actually have this little like storage space at the top of the center console with the charging port. And then you can open it up for even more storage space. It's very cavernous, that's for sure. And I like the padding on top. And then there's also padding on the dash. It's another thing to mention. And pretty normal glove box. But yeah, look at the trim that goes across. I think that looks great. And then up top here, we've got our controls for the full panoramic sunroof here. So we got lots of sunroof action. Now here's a quick look at the window sticker for this Carbide edition. So it's built off of a Series 2. But anyways, base MSRP $68,080. And then, River Rock is what this is called. River Rock exterior. Very cool looking color. So Carbide appearance package $36.95. Anyways, after all options, this one stickers for $81,605. Boop ba doop boo boo. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear. And I am so excited because this is obviously the standard output version of the Hurricane. AKA, and let me fix this a little bit. There we go. This is the version that's going to go in the Ram 1500, the standard version. We'll probably get a high output version and some like crazy performance version of the Ram 1500. But as for like, the regular Ram 1500, this is what it'll get. So I'm just interested to see how this drives. Now, first off, seat comfort's really good. These Napa leather seats are very nice, actually. Lots of padding. Suspension's solid. So again, you got independent front and rear suspension with this, which helps out with the handling and then also with the ride quality quite a bit. It's very quiet too. The Wagoneer definitely has a luxury SUV feel to it. Ooh, good torque off the line there. Very smooth, the 8-speed. Yeah, this thing's very torquey. This thing I'm noticing off the bat. It's quiet too. Like, you hear a little bit of noise, but it's pretty quiet overall. Oh, another one of those Amazon vans. They're everywhere. Yeah, this rides so well. I love the mirrors, how they've got a little convex mirror in them. Helps out with visibility quite a bit. Yeah, steering's really good too. It's light, but it's direct. Let's pop this into the sport mode. It'll actually lower the air suspension for the sport mode. Which is another cool feature of that. People that get in this lane to go straight, there's a certain place and somewhere for them. Okay, we are finally getting up and moving, and there's a big line of cars behind me because that person was super insensitive. Anyways, good torque. Very smooth too. Very smooth. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this feels like full throttle, but so far, really good. I swear, if I get stuck at another red light, I'm going to pull my hair out. Oh, here we go. Well, I'll get back to you guys in a second. Okay, well, we are officially going to get our full-blown acceleration here. Whoa, buddy. Standard output. Wow. That's strong. Really strong, honestly. I will say, though, you can feel the torque difference between this and like the F-150 EcoBoost powertrain, because that powertrain has like 500 pound-feet of torque. This is 468. So you can feel the difference with the torque. This doesn't feel as like punchy, if that makes sense, with the torque, but horsepower is there, that's for sure. And it's still really strong. So summing things up, I love the Carbide edition. This is the Wagoneer to get. This is the Wagoneer to get. We'll get one more acceleration to the second driveway. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, this is the Wagoneer to get. Carbide, and you can still get the 5.7 Hemi. I wouldn't. I'd get this engine. But I guess if you want a V8, you can still get the V8, but I think this is the one to go for. It's got more horsepower, more torque. It's good with fuel, and it is fun to drive.